Hi, it's Carolyn, the contest queen, and I just lost my little sticker because I took it too high, but it was sitting on my face. So I wanted to take it off. So let's go put it back. And no, I don't want this appearance. Ugh. Why did these things do this? And flip camera, settings. It's under enhance, I know it. Oh, here it is. How about this? Learn to win giveaways. Win giveaways. There we go. Oh, it doesn't like the... All right. Here we go. I guess I'm kind of stuck with it there. I'll leave it there. So, what do you want to learn about sweepstakes contests and giveaways? This is my favorite thing to talk about. I have been teaching others to win for over 20 years. I know, right? Like, where did that time go? And I've won everything from, you know, free chocolate bars and soda right up to multi-$1,000 trips, like all over the world. I've won trips to... I did this once. I did a TikTok once, and someone said to me, "You're lying," because I talked about all these trips that I won, and they said, "You haven't won 19 trips." So I sat down, I thought, where have I won trips to? I never calculated it out. So I sat there and I calculated out all the trips that I had won, and I commented back to them, and I go, "You're right. Thank you for, leaving that comment, because you're right. I did lie. I didn't win 19 trips. I've won 23 at the point. Since then, since I did that video, I've won another trip. I won another trip. So I won 24 trips. Maybe this year will be number 25. You never know. And so I've won 24 trips. I've gone to Florida. So I won a trip to... I should pop up the list, but I just shut off my computer. I went to Barbados with my mom. We've been to the Winter Olympics in Vancouver. I've been to London twice. We won trips that went to London. One was a concert that we won tickets to, so they flew us over, hotel, everything. And the other one was to go to the set of Harry Potter. We've won trips to... There's so many. Trips are my favorite thing to win. By the way, if you have any comments or questions, just leave them, and I will answer all your questions about sweepstakes contests and giveaways, because, you can't win if you don't enter. That's the name of my first book, by the way. There's a reason you can't win if you don't enter, is the name of my first book, because you can't. Anyway, so where else have we won trips to? Then we won a tour of Europe. That was fun. We started in England, and we went to the Netherlands. So we started in England, Netherlands, Germany, Austria, Switzerland. Did I say Italy? And France. And then we came back. And actually, we were so tired of the bus. Like, it was a bus tour. It was exhausting. On the last day, I'm like, I can't get back on that bus. Because they're like, hey, you don't have to come on the bus. If you have other plans, then, So on the last day, and there was another couple, they couldn't do the bus anymore either. So they turned around and they got on the channel with us. We paid out of our own pocket because we had transportation, but we're like, yeah, we can't do it. So we were in Paris, and we're like, yeah, we're going to take the channel. So we took the channel, and we went to London, and then we met up with everybody from the tour group back at the hotel. We're like, yeah, we couldn't do the bus, because you'd be on the bus, and then you have to take the ferry, and then you're back on the bus again. And we're like, yeah, no, it was a long ass day. We'd rather spend it in Paris and then channel back. So that was kind of cool, because that was an experience we wouldn't have gotten. Thank you for all the likes. I really appreciate it. And sweepstakes is a lot of fun. I have to say, though, for me, trips are my absolute favorite prize. Like, there's something about winning a trip. I don't know. So we went to London. That was a good trip. That was a 2-week trip. That was probably the longest trip we ever won. And then We've done like Universal Studios. Last year, that was a good trip. I won a gift certificate so we could go anywhere, and I took my sister and her husband. So there's 4 of us for a week in Mexico, all inclusive. Oh my God, was that fun. That was last October. And then, where else have we gone? I've been to Mexico. I haven't won any other trips to the Caribbean, just Barbados and Mexico. Florida, we won a trip to Florida. My husband, I call him my husband, he got to be a judge in the Miss Hawaiian Tropics Bikini Contest state finals. He loved that. He's actually such a good judge because there was other female judges. He was one of the male judges because they had a balance. And some of the female judges were former winners. And so they gave him pointers on what to look for when judging the contest. And they thought he did such a good job. They actually invited us to go to Hawaii to be a judge. They weren't going to pay for the trip though, but. And then, what else? Yeah, my Mickey Mouse teacup. And no, it wasn't from a trip I won. Dang it. But that's another tip. When we won the trip to Universal Studios Florida, it was for 3 days, 4 nights. 4 days, 3 nights, which means you travel on one of the park days because you had 3-day park passes. So I asked them, can we stay longer? And they're like, yeah, if you want to pay for the park or the hotel, no problem. So I looked, and the dates that we had picked, because I wanted to go for my daughter's birthday, they couldn't find us rooms underneath the prize. So they moved us, they upgraded us at their expense to the more expensive hotel, and our hotel keys became fast passes at the park. So that was like a bonus win. But then I couldn't afford those rooms. So we booked 2 nights at the original hotel we were supposed to stay at. And then they were so good when they were dropping, because it included transportation to and from the hotel. So they dropped us off at one hotel and they picked us up at the other. And then I used that other day and we went to Disney for 1 day. And then we had a pool day. And so you can stay extra. They're happy to take your money if you want to stay extra on a trip win. So that was a lot of fun. So we ended up staying almost a week. From a 4-day trip, we stayed 6. And we paid for 5 nights. We paid for 2 nights. They paid for 3. And that way we didn't miss any park time. It was much better. It worked out much better. And then for dinner and stuff, we would just stop at Starbucks and get like a coffee and a muffin. And then we'd have snacks in the day, around the park. Oh, I'm hungry. What do you want? And then at night we'd go out because they had down that Universal walk or whatever they call it. And we'd pick a different restaurant. Oh, Nancy says, I've entered so many email sweeps and literally gave up because I didn't win any. Email sweeps? Sending in emails? Oh, I don't. Okay, so first of all, and yes, luck on IG. Some people just focus on Instagram and win like nobody's business. But the big trip, I've seen trips being given away, but majority of the time, the biggest prizes come from online giveaways. Now, what I want you to leave me a comment on is, where are you finding your sweepstakes to enter? Because when you said email sweepstakes, that means you're emailing in an entry, or are you filling out an online form? I'm a little bit confused. Leave me where you're finding your giveaways, because one of the keys to winning, so I teach people how to find, organize, enter, and win. Right? Okay, so online sweeps where you have to enter your email. See, now I win tons of those. That's what I pretty much win most of. So what I want to know is, where are you finding them? That might be your issue. Okay. So then, yeah, email sweeps. I had no idea what that was. That's very funny. I try to be super organized on Sweeps Advantage. Oh, okay. So here's what I suggest to people. Now, Sweeps Advantage tends to be better if you pay for Plus. But Probably the two best aggregates for best odds sweepstakes right now are Sweetie Sweeps and I Win giveaways. Now, I Win giveaways, I'll give you an example. I Win giveaways doesn't have as many sweepstakes as, say, Sweepstakes Advantage. However, Tom, who runs the Sweeps I Win contest, is very selective on what he posts. And he'll get a lot of winners in his giveaways. And they have a Discord group, and they help each other with keywords and stuff too. The Discord group is extremely active. He's slowly getting better on TikTok and YouTube because I told him to. We've been friends since so he bought my book and this book and started to learn how to win sweepstakes in 2008. And then at the 2010 sweepstakes convention, I met him, and we've been friends ever since. Like when we went to Florida, I had to go to Florida on business this past March because I bought the rights to somebody's books. And that's another business I have. I'm republishing all these mindset books. I have them behind me. I won't dig them out now. That huge pile up there. See all the ones that I bought? I'm missing a few there. Anyway, we spent the evening with Tom and his wife, Lee. It was so fun. But when we won that trip to Universal Studios, I met up with Tom and he took us around Disney. And you know what? He told us all the tips. He said, get there at 6:30 in the morning. We're like, 6:30? He's like, yep. We're like, all right. So we did everything he said, and we had the best day at Disney because he told us exactly what to do. Sweepstakes friends are the best. Okay, interesting. Maybe I'll try again. I'll start IG giveaways in January. Total is 500 so far. Wow. Now, I don't have much luck on Instagram, but I don't focus on it. I focus on radio. Okay, so here's the other tip. Depending on where you live, I want you to enter in concentric circles. Okay? Think about this. When you're entering sweepstakes, it's not rocket science. I just had a brain hiccup. The less people that are eligible to enter, the better your odds of winning, right? So you're going to want to enter local, and then statewide, and then national, and then global. So for example, I do very, very well in all my local media sweepstakes. So I have a list. Now, I personally prefer RoboForm to enter, and I also use it to organize my sweepstakes. I do teach a RoboForm 101 class, and I'm just changing my whole system. So my next class is going to be September. I'm now only holding classes 3 times a year because I'm getting busier and I can't teach every month now. I don't have the time. So my next class is going to be besides this is summer, no one's going to come in the summer. Everyone's busy enjoying the weather. But I organize them in RoboForm, but you can also use your browser. If you want to learn that system, if you can't wait, the Kindle version of this book is only 99 cents. And I do go through that organization system in there. So you could start there. Then my next book was How to Win Cash, Cars, Trips, and More. And I'm currently writing Prizes Everywhere, which is one of the reasons I'm shifting stuff around and automating. Oh, you have RoboForm? Oh, and are you using it to... Now, here's another key. Do you know how to create a pass card to save the forms that have more than the address fields? Because that's... is that actually in here? Because it keeps updating. This book is getting older, but... yeah. Okay, it doesn't look like this exactly anymore. But I'm just kind of reading it quickly. Yes, the instructions are here. So you're going to look on page 101. Oh, it won't be on 101 if you get the Kindle. But you're going to look for using RoboForm pass cards. Like I said, if you get the Kindle version, it's only 99 cents. It's totally worth it. And that'll take you through how to use it until you can take the class in September. I don't know about that. I'm pretty basic with it. Yeah. Go mark my class for September. Just, you know what? Sign up for my newsletter. You get a free sweepstakes starter kit. And I will be sharing my class information about that as I'm automating everything, because I'm I'm getting so busy. I'm running out of time, so I'm trying to like automate my business. Yeah, get the Kindle version. Yeah, it only takes one big win and it's out there. I'm telling you, there's enough prizes. Companies spend, here's the other thing people don't realize. Companies spend billions, not millions, billions of dollars running sweepstakes every year. And that's just the United States. That doesn't include any other country in the world. There's billions. So there's enough prizes for everybody. You just have to find them. So let's go back to the concentric circles. So in my RoboForm, I have a weekly list. And every Monday, I go check every single local radio station in my area, all the TV outlets, and companies that I know in my area that consistently host giveaways. I have a list of them, and I go and check those out every week. And I enter all of those. So it depends on where you live, see, that's the other thing. I can't tell you, oh, here's what your list is going to look like, because everybody lives in a different space. And depending on where you live, you may have more options than not. So I taught my last class last month, and one of the girls lived 2 hours outside of Boston. So immediately around her, there was not too much. But Boston... Oh, hello from Serbia. I don't know if they have sweepstakes there, contests and giveaways. You'd have to keep your eye out. Probably product packaging. I know Tom Cavalli had won a trip to Italy. He did some TikToks on it. And then he was showing how he found giveaways in Italian on products. Because, let's face it, marketing companies, products, they love to give stuff away and have fun engagement with their customers and their, product fans. Anyway, so I go and I enter all the locals, and you get good at knowing where to go. And I tend to win those more than others, except last year, I had my best year for nationals. Go figure. I won more from nationals. And the year before, the biggest prize I won, I've done a couple of TikToks on this. The biggest prize I won instantly was a hot tub, $5,000 hot tub. I was in it last night, actually. I was like, and I was thinking, I'm going to go in it. Again, it's so nice just to soak. It really is. I know, that was the best one. That was from a pin code. Companies, let me see. I'm pretty sure I saw one on my desk. I was cleaning up earlier. Companies host giveaways. Oh, yeah, I have some down here. And they'll have codes in products. Right? They'll put a code in the product, and then you enter that code, and you could win instantly. Actually, you know what? While we're talking, I'll turn on my computer, and we'll see if we can't do one live. Why not? Why not? And I have not been code hunting the way I have, because they changed the contest, and the odds of winning went down. So I'm not putting as much effort into it as I have previous years. But I've also been busier. So... I'm in Los Angeles. Oh my gosh, there's so much. And you are so close to Disney and Universal and everything. You're in Los Angeles. There's a lot of local news and radio. I haven't tried that. Oh my gosh. Forget Sweepstakes Advantage. You could focus on locals. There's like Los Angeles, New York, Orlando have probably the top areas for sweepstakes, because you have so many, like in Florida, like in Orlando and that, they have all the cruises. Actually, maybe out of Los Angeles too. I don't know how many cruises are out of there. You could win cruises for because you're on the West Coast, trips to Hawaii all the time. Yeah, Greenville, South Carolina, it's going to have less opportunity to win. However, there's going to be less people competing, because in Los Angeles, it's massive. There's millions of people. So there's advantages and disadvantages to be in a major metropolitan market rather than, anyway, than a smaller town. So for example, the girl that I was teaching that was outside of Boston, she was 2 hours outside of Boston. So we were looking at all the Boston radio stations for all their big giveaways. So there was some concerts, But because she's so far and it's so late, I mean, if a concert lets out at midnight, 11 o'clock, you get to your car, you get out of traffic, now you're getting it home at 2 a.m. Do you really want to go, or do you want to stay over somewhere? Like, how big is the band that you're willing to do that for? So you have to really be selective. And then there was other things like trips and prizes and things that she could win. So here, we'll do an instant win, and I'll show you guys how that works. Let me see if I can, let me get the website up, and then I'll position my camera there. And then let me see, taste, oh, it helps if you spell the URL right. Taste Like Winning. Canada Dry. Okay, here we go. And they extended the contest too. It used to be. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Let me see if I can flip this camera around. Okay, here we go. And flip camera. Okay, oh, that's exciting. Now you can see what I live stream with. Okay, I'm going to pull this down a little. Can I put you guys on my lap? Okay, let's see if I can do this. Okay, okay, so there's the contest. Okay, let's see how steady I can hold this. Now I have to do this one-handed. Now this is where I use RoboForm, but I'm going to hide. I'm just going to, oops. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to show you my password for RoboForm. I'll just skip that. I'll just do this. Okay, so there we go. So here's the pin. This one likes the caps lock. You learn that after a while. So then you type it in exactly as you see it. Watch me win something. That would just be a riot. This one has a lot less prizes than it did the previous year. So then you just hit enter. And we did not win anything instantly. The other one that's been doing instant win stuff has been Starbucks. Let me see if I have any. Let me see if I have any. Oh, I have a snapshot. Okay. Let's do a snapshot. See if I win something. I'll take one snapshot. Let's see. Did I win anything? Oh, I won an instant prize. What did I win? 5 bonus stars. There you go. Woohoo! So, there you go. So that's kind of fun. So we did some instant win stuff. I'll just shut my computer off now. That was funny. So yeah, so I instantly won 5 stars. It adds up. It all adds up. But you don't know until you enter, right? So that's one of the things we do. So that's what a pin code is. So you're looking for it on. But I find that they're more prevalent in Canada than there is in the US. But in the US, you guys have a lot more instant win giveaways. And that's why it's important to use an aggregate too, because they aggregate all the giveaways in one spot, so you don't have to go hunting. So yeah, you are good to use Sweepstakes list, but my advice to people is if you're doing something, right? Wasn't Einstein's thing, doing the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result? So if you've been entering that much and you haven't been winning, then you need to change it, shift it. How much do you spend a day on entering? 1 or 2 hours on IG. That's actually what we do. But I don't do it on IG. I spend it on online giveaways. And then I tend to do my IG, so I don't win a lot. I won 2 last year on IG. I won 2 stock pots. It was a Father's Day giveaway, so I won 1 for me and 1 for him. And then 2 stock pots. Then at the Christmas time, okay, so December 1st to December 31st, it fluctuates maybe a week before. We call it sweepstakes season. Every company that you can possibly imagine is hosting giveaways online, and you can spend 8 hours entering. Like, it's crazy. And I won, and they're giving away something every day. So you go to the website or you go to their Instagram, and today's prize is this. Like, it's 12 days of giveaways, 24 days of giveaways. They're called Advent Calendar giveaways, actually. Anyway, I won a Wonder Bread prize pack. It was kind of cute and fun. Originally, they told me that I won the ugly sweater. And then they're like, sorry, that one's still going. You actually won the cozy prize pack. And I'm like, yeah, that's okay. It was a mug and some coupons for bread, which I let expire because I'm not a couponer and I totally forgot about them. I need to use coupons right away when I get them, or they always expire. And a puzzle, which was impossibly hard. Believe it was only 250 pieces, but it was all white and red and yellow, like it was all their colors. It was so hard. I was like, oh, this will be easy, it's small. That was harder than some of the other puzzles we did. So that was a fun prize. Where do you find the ones you enter? Okay, so I live in Canada, so I use contestcanada.net, but other people like Contest Girl and Red Flag Deals up here. They're the most popular. There's other sites like Yo Winner, and there's one more up here that's kind of popular. I can't think of it off the top of my head. In the United States, Sweepstakes Advantage is popular, Sweepstakes Fanatics, Sweepstakes Today, I Win Contests, Sweetie Sweeps, Sweep Sheet. I've interviewed a lot of the site owners on my website, on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube or Facebook, you can watch the interviews I've had with the site owners, which is kind of cool because it's people running the sites. Like, it's not just some random, website that we don't know who owns it. These are real people that are passionate and, win prizes online. I interviewed them. They don't want to do a video, but I'm going to have them in my next book. Who else? There's lots of sites, but what I tell you, they all have different formats. See, this is the other thing. Some of them are like forums. Some of them are like lists. Some of them are like blog style, like how they formatted the website. And some of them are subscribed. So the other thing I've done, if you go to YouTube, my YouTube, I've started a playlist. I've done mini behind the scenes tours of some of the sweepstakes aggregates, because some of them are paid, like I Win Contests. So unless you sign up, you don't know what the site looks like. Like, how do you know if you want to join if you don't know what it looks like? So I had all the owners give me access so I could do tours for everybody. So it's like a 3-minute video. And so you can just go and see, and it gives you, I got to do another one. I was going to do win prizes online. I haven't done that yet, so maybe that's a little impetus for me to get off my butt and do that. So you can go to my YouTube and take some behind the scenes tours and watch interviews I've had with site owners. How do you filter through all your emails? I get a little overwhelmed when I did online sweeps. Okay, 1, have an email address just for entering sweepstakes, which I'm assuming you did. 2, don't subscribe to their newsletter unless they give you an extra entry. 3, frequently unsubscribe. Tom Cavalli always gives this advice, and I love this advice, so I share it. He says, do a month where you unsubscribe from 10 or 20, like if you start to get overwhelmed, 10 or 20 every day, and then eventually they won't come anymore. He hardly gets any, and he wins a lot. Spam or extra newsletters. And I do keep the ones that I want to get. Like, there's some that give exclusives and heads up and all this stuff, and things that I'm actually interested in. So I like those newsletters, so I keep those. The other thing I do is I use the search, and I search for keywords like affidavit, congratulations, winner, notification. Like, I literally use different words and release form, things like that. And you get good at spotting a win after a while too. Like I check my email every day and I can scan it and spot a win quickly and check your spam. And then that's for the online sweepstakes. And then of course, if you're entering social media sweepstakes, as you probably well know by entering Instagram, you always have to check your notifications and your DMs and your hidden messages for notifications. In case you won, and make sure your IG account is public, not private. So I have my business IG account. I don't enter on that one. I have a personal account that I used to enter with. So if you see the Contest Queen on Instagram, you won't ever see me. People tag me and get an entry for themselves, but I don't enter using that one. I never enter. I have a personal account that I enter from because that's not right. That's my business. Right? Business accounts shouldn't be used for entering sweepstakes. At least that's my 2 cents. So I hope that helps. And the other nice thing about doing the unsubscribe from the sweepstakes newsletters or the emails is that it'll come down. So if you only do 5 or 10 a day in a month, that's 300 that you've unsubscribed from. And it makes it more manageable. And it doesn't take long to undo 10, right? If you just do 10, that only takes a few minutes. Whereas you think, oh my God, I got to spend a whole day dealing with this, then... And then I also manage my boyfriend's sweepstakes account. And so his emails, and I don't check his the way I do mine, or I don't clean them up. And so if he hasn't won anything for a while, I literally just go and I delete all the emails out of it. And all the winning notifications, I've already moved to folders. Like I have a wins folder. So if we win something, the email goes in there. So that if I have to call somebody back or like, hey, here's your tickets to whatever show or whatever it is, they're not there. So then I just delete all the emails and clear it out. But before I delete, I always do a secondary check. Like I've looked to see for winning notifications, but I always do the search through the search bar for winner, prize, notification. Like I just generally usually use congratulations, winner, and prize are the words that I search for. Other people have, affidavit. And some people actually, I heard this tip, search for the word affidavit instead of affidavit. Because believe it or not, some marketers can't spell and spell it wrong when sending you the winning notification. Can you imagine? I live on Grammarly. I get notifications that I'm in the top 98 percentile of users, power users. Yeah, I use Grammarly a lot. For someone who writes, you'd think I'd be better. But yeah, no, I'm a power user with Grammarly. Between my books and my blogs and my emails and anything else I'm doing, all my socials, it comes up. Right? So yeah, those are the searches. I'm sure you could rope it in. So you might want to add an extra half hour to each day for a couple of weeks just to kind of spend that extra on your email. Kind of use it to organize your hobby, right? If you have a little extra time. Use that as, okay, I did all my entries. Now I'm going to spend the time organizing my hobby. And I think also, if you got to remember, everything is energy. I love all that metaphysical stuff too. Because I also did Helene's books, right? The Name It and Claim It game. She taught everyone how to be a winner in sweepstakes and in life. And she would focus on wins. Anyway, the energy you spend, on your hobby, focusing, organizing, getting yourself sorted, makes you feel good. So you don't think about it. If you go into if you decide, I'm going to sweepstakes right now, and you say, oh God, look at all these emails. Like right now, the energy just kind of went down. That's not going to win you prizes, right? You want to be like, ooh, look what I'm going to win. Like, look, ooh, I could win a trip. Ooh, that could be fun. right? Like you want to have that kind of excitement when you're entering. You're like, oh, I'm going to get my cup of tea and I'm going to sit and I'm going to enter my sweepstakes and I wonder what new's been added. You know, you get all excited. Now, another tip is when you're using your organizational system, if you use RoboForm or a browser system, or even the ones that you have, say, saved, if you use like an iWin contest or Sweepstakes Today, they all, or even Sweepstakes Plus, they all have ways that you can save the sweepstakes to help you be organized. If you're going to do that, always, always, always enter what you saved first and then add into your system. Because otherwise, you're going to see something new. So you open up the website and have all their featured giveaways and things that were added since yesterday. And you go, oh, there's a new trip. There's a new car. There's a new kitchen. There's a new whatever. There's a new concert. There's a new... And you enter that. And if you add it into your system and then you start entering all your giveaways, are you going to remember you already entered that one? So always enter your current list first and then add to it and then go in for the next one. Does that make sense? I hope that does. Okay, so if you have any other questions about sweepstakes, contests, and giveaways, and how to find, organize, enter, and win them, ask and I will tell you, because I'm the contest queen. I actually bought a crown, a little band crown, when we were in Universal Studios. They had a whole medieval section and they had this person selling crowns. I'm like, I want one. And it was kind of cheesy. And I wore it the whole trip. And they were all laughing at me. Oh, thanks, Violetta. I love that you said that because I'm done with it right now. I'm ready to get it cut next week. So I appreciate that. Actually, if you look at my old pictures, I was coloring my hair and then the pandemic happened. I decided that I was actually going to stop coloring it and I had I had all the colors stripped out of it, which turned out to be a good thing. So my hair was very blonde and very crunchy. And then the pandemic happened and where I live, we had lockdown for 6 months. There was no hairdressers, nothing. I was just chopping the back off myself. And there was a lot of clips and hair bands and things happening. And then I saw the hairdresser and we just cut it all off. And then I was like pure white, like not pure white, very white. And then I said, that's it. And I had him put some highlights in so it takes the edge off. But it's so nice not to color my hair anymore. Like we're all, you know, and so many women did it. It's kind of fun. But you got to be yourself, right? Like, you know. Now, Amy Jo asks, how do you find the sweepstakes? So, I use sweepstakes aggregates. Okay, there's sites out there that aggregate the sweepstakes. So, if you go to my website now, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt because it's under resources, and then you have to click on find, and then you click on sweepstakes aggregates, and you get a list. I will be redesigning my website this year. It's going to be right off the homepage, but it's not there yet. Also, there's a pop-up, and if you sign up for my free sweepstakes starter kit, it has some instructions. And then there's also, if you go to my homepage, it says 5 steps to begin winning. I think the link to my aggregates is on step 2, I think. Isn't that terrible? I don't even remember. I designed it so long ago. That's why we need a refresh. So we're building Words for Winning first to house all these books because they're not all contest related and they need a home. And then we're going to work on Contest Queen. She's going to get a fresh new face. Fresh new face. So there's a list of aggregates, and I hope that helps you. Now, I don't tell people what my favorite is because what I like in a design and a website and how I like to organize is maybe different than yours. And you have to be having fun, or that's when you win. Does that make sense? So I want you to go to look at the different aggregates, poke around, check out each site, see what format you like, and then start entering. because that's going to make it more fun for you. Okay? Now, Nancy, how old was I? I started in 2001 to do it on a daily basis. So I was 34. So in 21, so I actually did a couple of years ago. Gosh, I'm starting to feel old. 2 years ago, I did my 20th sweepstakes anniversary. And I remember exactly when I started sweepstaking on a daily basis. So I had always entered sweepstakes here and there. I'd seen somebody. I don't have any room for any of my sweepstakes books. They're in boxes. But Steve Ledoux wrote a book called How to Win Sweepstakes Contests and Lottery in the 21st Century. I actually met him when I went to California once for a convention. Oh my God, it was so cool. And I didn't even know. I wasn't even prepared to film. So he gave a keynote speech at the little mini event we were doing. And I had no mic, no nothing. I just held my phone up for 20 minutes and filmed him. It's like the worst quality. But it is on my YouTube channel. So I think I got the closed captioning to work. So you can listen to him speech. Anyway, there was a point to that. Oh my God, did I just lose my train of thought? Oh yeah. So I had entered here and there. And it's changed. Like where I was winning and what I was doing before has so changed. Like I came in at the end of the mail-in sweepstakes. So I was mailing in most of my entries when I started. And then they started to disappear. And then it shifted to mostly online. And then social started creeping in. And then it was like, and even TikTok has giveaways all the time. And now I'm finding a lot of apps are having them. Mail-ins still exist, yes. And then sometimes you have to read the rules. So for example, McDonald's app in Canada right now is doing a giveaway. You have to order fries in the app and you're entered. But I don't want to eat that many fries. That's not healthy. So I haven't had a chance, but I'm going to go search out the rules. Oh, I don't have my iPad in here. I was going to search. I just shut off my computer already. I'm going to go search the rules to see what the mail-in option is to get in some entries. So I'm going to buy some fries and mail some in. And do that. And ones like this, where you're required, right? And so the code's inside. And right here it says, I don't know if you guys can see that, no purchase necessary. So that means I got to go to the website and then I could probably mail in for one or two. So I do that too. And then sometimes there's other ones, like there's an Air Miles one where you use miles to enter. You can also write an essay and enter. So yeah, mail-ins still exist. Shockingly, they still exist. But I tell people, check the value of the prize. So here's an example. There's one for, Circle K was doing one in Canada. They had a giveaway frenzy. And they had a deal. You go between this hour. It was for today, but I didn't have a chance to go today. But I did a TikTok on it. If you go, I call sweeping it on the go. So I get a text and it says, hey, between 1 and 2 today, go and buy 2 O. Henry bars on special for $3 and send us a copy of the receipt and you're in to win $1,000. So postage in Canada is $1. If you have to send a self-addressed envelope, it's now $2. And then my time and my envelope and everything, so I'm like at what, $2.25, $2.50? And then I got to get to the post box. Or I can go spend $3, take a receipt, and I've spent probably just a smidge more, and I have chocolate. Right? So Is it worth doing a mail-in at that point? It's close to the price. But a lot of the beer companies will have giveaways in the beer cases. And beer in Canada is very expensive. A case of beer, I think a 24 pack of beer in Canada is like $50. It's like $2 a beer. So it is well worth to do the mail-in, no purchase entry option on those. So you have to determine the value of the entry, the cost, how much does it cost you to enter versus purchasing the product. Those are really mostly the only mail-ins left. The other one that's very good that they have in the United States that they don't have in Canada is Second Chance. So you're in California. I want you to go to the California State Lottery website and read about all the Second Chance. And a lot of times people throw away non-winning sweepstakes, lottery tickets, scratch-offs, lottery tickets. Depends on what it is. And sometimes you can enter those and you can win. I remember one time I was traveling and I was at a gas station and someone had, I guess, either threw them out or tried to hit the bin. There was all kinds of scratchers on the ground, like in the kind of blowing in the wind a little bit. So I finished my pumping gas and I went around and I grabbed them all. And I must have had, I don't know, like 20 losing cards. And I have so many sweepstakes friends. I just stuck them in an envelope and mailed them off to one of my sweepstakes friends. And I'm like, good luck. Right? Canada has Lightning where you spend $1 to rescan your non-winning scratchers. No, Lightning. Okay, so there's a couple of ones. I live in Ontario. So they have Lotto Lightning, which is its own game for $2. And you instantly see if you won. The other one is Top It Up. You pay $1 when you buy scratchers. And you can only buy it when you buy scratchers. And you see if you've won. But if you have non-winning scratchers like this, there's nothing. That's it. Whereas in the United States, if you had one of these, there's a second chance depending on the state. Depends on the state. But yeah, I haven't tried Lightning Lotto or Top It Up in a while. Maybe I should. maybe you're the impetus for me to go and try. Right? Yeah, so but we don't have second chance, unfortunately. I wish we did, but you know, it's lots of fun. So yeah, there's people like I have Donna, one of my sweeping friends from New York. She does so good on second chance on the lottery. Like she's like the queen. She's even made friends with the local convenience store owner, and she leaves like a bin that people can throw away all their losing tickets. And once or twice a week, she goes and picks them all up and enters them. She's won so much stuff. And then sometimes she shares. Like, she'll win, coffee gift cards and this and that. And she'll come into the store and share some prizes with the staff and the owner. And so they're happy and she's happy. And, that is amazing. It's so funny, right? Here's the other thing about this hobby that no one tells you about. So people think, okay, I'm just going to enter and win a fridge or win tickets to this concert or, gift card to Walmart or whatever. But I've made friends for life from this hobby. Something I totally didn't expect when I started. And I'll tell you the type of people they are. So I started entering in 2001 as a hobby. I ended up, there's a whole story. I'm not going to reiterate the story that's in my book, but I ended up going down the path where I decided that I was going to teach. Because I have a marketing background and sweepstakes is one form of marketing, which is why I understood it so well. And then I was on a winning streak and everyone said, what's your secret? And I said, I have a system. And I had a system because, again, I have my marketing background and I applied my marketing skill set to the hobby, which allowed me to be organized. And there wasn't systems the way there are now. Like 2001, I can't even imagine the computer I had. Anyway, so everyone said to me, you should write a book. And I'm like, really? And so I started down that path. And oh my God, I just lost my train of thought again. Somebody refresh me. Where was I going with this? There was a good point too. I was writing the book. Oh dear. Anyway. Oh, Computer 2001, Friends and Teaching. Oh yeah. Thank you, Nancy. Oh my God. You're going to have to come to one of the club meetings. Oh my God. So I started entering, and then when I started writing my book, I started doing research, and I discovered sweepstakes conventions and clubs in the United States. We didn't have them in Canada. And I've always been the odd duck. I never fit in school. I was always like ostracized. At high school, I only had 1 or 2 friends. I was like the weird one. I never fit in. And we went to the... oh my gosh, sorry, Taylor. Yeah, I don't enter them as much as I should. And congratulations. Anyway, so I discovered sweepstakes conventions. So my husband and I went in 2005. The annual National Sweepstakes Convention was held in Moline, Illinois. And we had registered so late that we were in the adjacent hotel. But there was a lot of people in the Overflow Hotel. So we get there, and we're sitting, and we were having, the hotels that come with breakfast. I think it was a Holiday Inn Express or something. So we're sitting there having breakfast, and I look around, and I felt like I knew everybody. I had never met any of these people in my life. And I thought, I know these people. Like, it was weird. Then we went into the big convention hall. 600 people, like me, love to enter sweepstakes. I thought I came home. Like, I felt like I was at home. I can't even explain it. I looked at him. I said, we're coming every year. I made friends at that convention. And now, because I go almost every year, when I see people, there's a lot of screaming, a lot of extensive hugging. And then when I was going through my divorce, I really hit, like, everybody, I think, has a point in their life. Life is not this nice, like, upward thing. Sometimes you go down. And I was just at a low point. And some of my sweeping friends said to me, you need to get out of that house for a while. Come and stay with us. Just come and hang out. And I ended up planning a trip to Florida and back to hang out with friends. And I had no money that year. Like, my business was the worst. I thought I was going to lose my business. Like, it was the worst year I had in business. And one of my sweepy friends said, hey, if you're coming, can you teach our club some stuff? And I went, cha-ching. I charged everybody just $10 because I wasn't out to, milk everybody for money. And it wasn't like, no, I just needed enough money to cover my food and gas. I was couch surfing. I couch surfed for a month, and I stayed with sweepers the entire way. Everybody opened their house. They took me out for dinner. They sightseed me. They took me on sightseeing tours around their city. I was like 2 days here and 2 days there. And some people I had just met like once or twice. Like, for example, Wendy, who I met at a 2008 sweepstakes convention in Hershey, Pennsylvania, in a mini. They don't do those ones anymore. And then, so I met her in 2008. I think I saw her at one other one. And then the year that my life was terrible was 10 years ago, 2013. And so that summer, I drove around. And so I stayed with her. At that point, she lived near New York City. And so I went and stayed with her. And it was like we were friends forever. And since that time, we traveled to, I think we were just talking about that the other day, trying to figure it out. We went to that was 2013. So we went to the 2014, 2015, and 2016 sweepstakes conventions together, along with 2 minis. Plus, I used to go to her house and hang out. And And we're going to this year's sweepstakes convention together. Like, she's my girlfriend for life. Like, we're besties now. That's it. Like, that's the thing. Like, and when I went to Florida on business, I saw Tom Cavalli at I Win contests. I went with George, the two of us. We went out for dinner with Tom and his wife. And if you go look on my Instagram feed, I wanted to do a celebrity meet and greet video, but we couldn't. But I took a picture of the dog. Everybody loves Roscoe. Oh my God, everybody loves Roscoe. And poor Lee. So I sat on the floor. Roscoe's this like little wienery dog. I don't even know what they're called. Dachshunds, I think. And I sat on the floor. And he came running up and he was like licking me and I was petting him. And Tom's like, he doesn't like anybody. And I'm like, I have good juju. I took a picture of me. He's so cute. And he's the face of the thing. And, you know, like, just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just so nice. Like, and unfortunately at that time they were busy and we didn't have time to stay. But, you know, we're invited back to Florida anytime we go. We don't have to stay in a hotel. I have so many friends I can stay with. People are so nice. Like, I can't even. And it's, to me, this is better than any prize I've ever won. Like, yeah, trust me, going to Mexico with my sister and her husband for free was amazing. But you can't put a price on the friendships that I've made. Like, to me, that's the priceless thing. So that's why I encourage people, come to the club meetings I put online. And Nancy, yeah, I didn't have any. Now, this next one, there's 2 this year left. I can't go to the second one because I'm super busy, and it kind of coincides with George's 60th. So I'm thinking we're going to go to the Grand Canyon. But there's one in Memphis. That's the closest to you. Oh, no, it's not. I don't know if there's any tickets left. Check to see. But there's one in Phoenix, Arizona, July 6 to 9. And there are people still looking for roommates. Taylor, have you ever won something you regretted due to the rules or in general? Oh, yeah. I've done videos on this. I have a whole blog on this. But I skimmed the rules. This is why my number 1 tip is to read the rules. Don't skim. Read. And what you're looking for when you're reading, okay, is start and finish dates. Eligibility. So can you even enter? Like, is it open to Florida, or is it open to all of the states, or is it open to these 5 states? Like, are you eligible? Or liquor ones, are you over the age of 21? Stuff like that. Like, are you eligible to enter? When does it start? When does it end? Frequency. This is an important one. People don't think of this one. Is it one time per person, one time per household, one time per week, daily, 24 hours, sometimes it's by clock? If you're Nancy and Nancy's in California, is it Eastern time? Which means you have to enter before 8:59 p.m. your time. You have to be cognizant of that. So, you know, frequency. And then any other clauses that could affect it. So there was this one contest, and you would win grandstand passes to the race, the Indy race. Well, my husband was a huge Crazy Race fan, so I'm like, okay, I was entering that one. And at that point, it was you could enter online or enter mailing it in. So I did him one way, me the other. I won the grandstand passes, so he was going. But for the grand prize, I had to sumo wrestle someone. So I'm like, oh my God, I nearly turned down the prize. And then I thought, you call yourself your contest queen, you tell everybody to enter. Suck it up, Buttercup. Go sumo wrestle. So I had to sumo wrestle this guy. I got maunched. And, yeah. Oh, and I had to sign this. Thank God this was before, like, social media. So this was, and I had to sign a release form. Basically, if I broke my neck, my family couldn't sue. And the costume was so big, I couldn't see. It was like rubbing my hands and feet. It was July, and this thing was all plastic and sweaty. It was so gross. I don't even know. Anyway, I lost, and I got an autograph from the wrestling star. I gave it to a friend who had kids that loved wrestling. And, yeah, And we took a camera and the batteries were dead. Oh, shucky darn, there's no pictures of me looking completely stupid. Oh. So yeah, that's why this is why, I'm going to say this right now. This is why I'm such a good teacher. I have made all the mistakes. You don't have to. I've made them all for you. So that's why it's important to always read the rules, so you don't end up sumo wrestling somebody for a grand prize. But we've heard stories and adventures of people doing crazy things to win prizes. I remember, and I wish I remembered her name. I would love to get this story from one of my books. I heard it at a convention because people were telling, like they were doing like a Q&A and people were coming up and talking and they're saying, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, read the rules on the Italy trip. It's probably fine. But actually, for trips, you always got to make sure, especially our local radio stations, they'll be giving away trips, but you have to pay. What's not included is the airport taxes. The taxes and, like, basically the government taxes and the airport tax, like all those taxes are not included. So if you win a trip from one of our local radio stations, like sometimes they do these things where they give away a trip a day and they'll do it for like a month, and you have to pay those taxes upon receiving the trip. So it's like and they already have it worked out. It's in the rules. It's like $248 per person, or I've seen them, depending on the type, like $429 a person. So you win a trip for two, you're spending $800 to claim this prize. But they tell you up front. I would pay it easy because, Now, pay taxes before, during tax season. So again, you have to read the rules. Like in that case, that kind of trip, you have to pay the taxes right away or you can't claim it. During tax season, yeah, that's usually when you do. Now, you will get a form, I think it's Form 1099 miscellaneous, if your prize is over $600. So if you win a $1,000 TV, you're going to get, so say you won it right now, you win it today, and you receive it in June. Mid-June, TV shows up at your house. Next year, so at the end of the year, the company does them. They may send it out earlier, but probably not because the accounting department will send you, say, January, February, that Form 1099 miscellaneous. And that's when you add it to your taxes. The other thing you need to be aware of is that's going to be on actual retail value, ARV. Say you won a TV. I'll give you an example. I won a 100-inch. You could go watch and find my TikToks from last December. A 100-inch TV, like a crazy person. It was so big we couldn't actually put it in the house. We had to put it in the garage because it was too big. Like it would be the entire wall of the living room, like maybe even bigger than the wall because we have a doorway. So we couldn't put it in the living room. The ceiling was, anyway, we put it in the garage. And the ARV on that was $4,500 because it's a laser projection, short throw. It's amazing. However, I saw it on sale for $3,500, so $1,000 less. But I would have gotten a Form 1099 miscellaneous for $4,500. But I'd only want to pay taxes on $3,500 because that's what I could go and buy it for. So I would need to keep record of that sale that I saw and when I won it to prove that it's not worth. So then when I file my taxes, I would file the adjustment. But that's where you got to have an accountant or a bookkeeper or a check. And to make it more exciting, the tax laws keep changing because I believe, again, I'm not a tax expert. This is important to understand. You have to talk to your local tax expert. But I believe you used to be able to write off your sweepstakes expenses against your winnings, like postage and envelopes and whatever. And, oh, good, Taylor. Oh, okay. Pay taxes, couldn't pay up front. Yeah. But then she said, I think she said last year they stopped doing that. You can't deduct that stuff anymore. But again, I don't know. So I would check to see what you can write off and what you can't. But again, I wouldn't. So some people are scared about winning a big prize because they're scared they can't pay the taxes. So the percentage of tax you pay is going to be based on your income. So if you're in a super high income bracket, it probably won't put as big a dent in your budget as if you're in a lower one. But again, that can be mitigated, right? And Taylor said, I'd agree to a new car, but I doubt I could afford the taxes. But think about it. If you're already making car payments, why not win the car, finance the car, like take out a loan and use the car as collateral, and then pay the tax? Like, the taxes on a new car would be less than buying a new car. Probably even cheaper than buying a used car. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, or worst case scenario, you sell the car and just pay the taxes and keep the difference. Right? Yeah, you could do that. You were typing exactly what I was saying. But as Evelyn Ryan would say, if you haven't seen the movie or read the book, The Prize Winner of Defiance, Ohio, must see or read. Actually, do both if you can, because they're a little bit different. They had to change things in the movie to make it fit. I got to meet all the Affadaisies before they passed away. And they told me that all the stories in the book were true, but even those were kind of hobbled together. So there'd be a story that happened, but it was actually 3 separate incidents, for example. But then the daughter, Terry, when she was writing the book, put them together to make the story cohesive. So everything actually happened, but not necessarily exactly how it happened in the book. But it was all true. Anyway, Evelyn says, that's a problem for another day. So I would focus on the winning and then worry about taxes. Because there is always a solution. Like, there was a woman who won, now this was years ago, MasterCard did a contest to go around the world. And the prize was worth $250,000. And they included cash to pay the taxes. As part, they had done the math so that even the tax portion was covered. So she didn't pay anything, just her spending money, like, you know, souvenirs, whatever she tipped. 7 wonders of the world. And every, 6 months, they went somewhere else. So, once was to Asia, and once was to Europe, and once was to, South America. And they went to all these different places. And she said it was incredible. And sometimes they were combined. Like, she went to Australia and New Zealand together. One trip. Anyway. Oh, yeah, that's why I joined small business giveaways on Instagram. No worries when you're a winner. Yeah, but, a new car. Seriously, though. Figure it out later. Right? Okay, Nancy said, I made a Google sheet with all the LA radio stations during this live. Yeah, hello? Right? And here's, bookmark. Okay, now that you have all the radio stations, what I want you to bookmark on that, because you're going to put all the URLs there, bookmark their promotions page. So a lot of the iHeart ones, for example, you'll get to contests, and then they'll have a list of their current contests. But if you scroll down just a little more, you're going to get all contests. So that's their master promotions page on the website. That's the one that you're going to want to take and put in the spreadsheet that you're going to check once a week. I like to check Mondays. I used to do Sundays, but I prefer Mondays now. The hobby changes. You just have to go with it. So check that once a week, and that's the one you're going to want to enter. Okay? Because that, and it's going to consistently change as they add new giveaways. I hope that helps there. And then, and look for locals. Like, oh my gosh, you live in such a good area for this. Because you've got Hollywood. There's probably premieres. There's tickets to events. There's tickets to show tapings. There's tickets to like Disney. Like I have friends that live in like Orange County and she wins so much Disney stuff. It's like, ugh. And then she's like, I can't find anybody to go with me. I'm like, if I lived closer, I'd always be your +1 to everything you go to. Oh my gosh, I've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes. What is, does anybody have any other questions? I'm going to have to start doing these more often because that's one of the other things I did was I'm automating my business because I want to do regular TikToks. Like I do once a month. So the last Monday of every month, I always do a live stream on YouTube and Facebook, simulcast, answering sweepstakes questions, kind of like this, but it's a little more formal. I find TikTok to be a little more loosey-goosey. And Nancy and is it Taylor? Go to my website. I just come to the next Contest Club meeting. However, I'm in the process of doing the website. So I think it's going to automatically send you a Zoom link. I might have to send you a separate Zoom link because I'm just converting it over. It's kind of overlapping. So, but this Saturday is the next virtual Contest Club meeting, and the following one is the 5th of June. They're either at 7:30 at night or at 1 o'clock on a Saturday or Sunday. So I try to do that. Okay. Yeah, and I host them, the Contest Club meetings. Okay, and the newsletter I only send out on the 15th and the 1st. Did I say Easter time? Eastern time. Yes, it's all Eastern time. So there are some people, like there's one lady from Alaska. She only comes when I do it on the weekends because she's 4 hours different. And she does sometimes host her own meetings. I should find out if she wants more people to come. I could share her info too. But there's clubs all over. Oh, you're in Ottawa. Oh, there's tons. As you can see, we're Toronto Maple Leafs blue in here. This office was... I thought blue would be a good color for filming, but it turns out with all the Toronto Maple Leaf memorabilia, because when I moved in with George, it was all in the living room. I'm like, I'm not living in a man cave, so we moved to the office. It turns out it's not good for interviews and stuff. I have a divider that I bring in, but when I just do a live like this, but for other contests where you have to be a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, this office, I'm like, I work every day with the TML. And I'll put on my shirts that I've won and stuff, and I'll like spin around the office. And there was a TikTok for the follow your local sport. Oh yeah, I got some more tips before I go. Follow your local sports teams on social. I won some tickets to the Leafs on TikTok because they're like, show us how big a fan you are. I'm like, hello, every day. Look at my office. This is how I hang every day. And they're like, wow, do you live near us? And I'm like, absolutely. And they're like, would you like some tickets? I'm like, absolutely. And then I was sick, so George took a buddy. I was like so disappointed. I wanted to go to the game. Oh, well, sometimes it happens. But at least he could go. But I see giveaways for the Ottawa Senators all the time. So look out. Then we have the Blue Jays and we have the Argos and like every team. So what we have here, and I'm assuming other teams do, our two big teams, the Raptors and the Toronto Maple Leafs, both have apps. And they have giveaways. And the Toronto Blue Jays just use their regular website for giveaways. They're on the MLB site. So go find all your local sports teams. Now, if you're in a major market like LA, you have both, like national, and like you have both leagues. You have like two teams. You have like, it's like up in San Francisco, they have the Oakland A's and they have both teams. Like you could win So go find all their apps, all their websites, the sporting teams. There's so many giveaways. And sometimes they have contests to like travel with the team. And you can win swag. And you can win. There's so many things to do as if you like sports. It's so much fun. It's a great way to win prizes and go out and have a good time. And sometimes I enter giveaways for things like one time I won tickets to 4 tickets to go to the Toronto Rock, which is our professional lacrosse team. I've never, what? So we went, we had a good time. Like, I'll try something new. Like, why not, right? And I just entered to win box seats for our local soccer team, like the Toronto FC. That would be fun. A whole box. I haven't seen one of these in a long time. You and 11 friends. Yeah. We're going. That would be fun. And so, oops. Yeah, there's so many giveaways for all kinds of things. So, and whatever you're into, you know, sports, you could find giveaways for so many different things. And it's a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. And I've got to sit down with my calendar. And I want to do one of these at least every 2 weeks on TikTok. Because I love TikTok. It's like my favorite app. It is so fun. Yeah, and I love hanging out with everybody. Yes, do it. Yeah, Nancy, come hang out with us sweepers. Oh, looks like I'll see you on Zoom. Oh, Daniel, you know, it's funny. I was thinking about you. Message me because I don't think I sent you the link. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, oh, did I send Daniel the link to the meeting on Saturday? Look at that. See, we have friends. We know everybody. Daniel, like Nancy and you guys should connect with Nancy, and Taylor should connect with Daniel because he's a huge sweeper and he wins lots of stuff. What is the Facebook group? Well, I do the Good Vibrations Sweepstakes Club, but that's not really for sweepstakes. We just hang out and have fun. The group that I'm talking about is we have a club meeting. So every 2 weeks or so, like twice a month roughly, so it's 2.5 weeks, we have a sweepstakes club meeting, and about half the people that come are Canadian and about half the people that come are American. And it's, if you go to my website and scroll down a little bit and you'll see featured blog posts, if you click through, you'll see the one that says virtual contest club meeting. Click on that and I talk about the meeting, the history of the meetings and stuff. And then on my workshop page, I have the calendar. I'm just updating it. The site looks a little wonky right now as we're going through some changes because I can't build the site and then flip it over. We're updating it as we go. So it's kind of like renovating a house, right? You're going to do one room and then the other room and then this room and then that room. And for a while it looks a little dusty and then eventually the whole house is done. That's how we're redoing my website. So some of it looks great and some of it looks a little like, we need some work in here. So that's what we're doing. But if you go there, I hope that explains it. And you know what? My email's up there, or you can just message me on social and I'll answer questions. Actually, I even have an email for that. questions@contestqueen.com. And then I always answer them on the my Facebook/YouTube Live at the end of the month. So my next one is next Monday, the 29th. Oh my gosh, it's already the 23rd. So I guess I better go and put the announcement on the website because I usually like to do it a week out. Can't join the group. Oh, that's weird. Okay, well, after this live, I'm going to go and see what's up with that. The Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club, really? It's got like a bright blue, like turquoisey with a happy face logo on it. I mean, you have to just apply and I'll go and approve you. I can do it again. It's not an auto join, but I'll do it now afterwards. We'll figure you out and just message me. I have 2 Facebook accounts. One's for business, one's for personal. So the personal one, I'm wearing a blue sweater. Kind of like that color blue. So if you look me up, you can friend request me there and I'll get you in the group. I'm all smiley. I was on a date. We'd won tickets and we went out for drinks first, and George took a picture of me and I'm like, that's a really good picture, and I put it on Facebook. So friend me there and we'll see if I can't get you sorted out. And yes, follow me here because I'm always on TikTok. Oh yeah, send me, you know what? I'm going to try this. Let's see if this works. What if I poke you? Oh, I can make friends with all of you. Oh my God, this is going to be fun. This is, okay, you guys are in trouble now. Let's see, am I friends with Daniel? Yep. Okay, where's Nancy? Oh, Jay. Let's see, Jay. I'm just going to friend everybody that I can see. You got to have a picture, though. I can't just see a little wavy thing. Okay, there's Nancy. Nancy, you need a picture on TikTok because if you entering giveaways, this is another good tip. If you're entering giveaways on social media, companies do go and look at your account, and you don't want to look like a bot. You want to look like a real person. So fill out the profile, put a picture there. Say something about yourself, like, you know, sun-loving lady, Disney fan, you know, avid gardener, coffee drinker, mom extraordinaire. I don't know. Just put something, you know. Put something down that talks about you, you know, or any of your other hobbies. Oh, great. Oh, Danielle, congratulations. Hang on, okay. I'm following all the sweepers. I need to add it and learn how to make TikToks. Yes, and you know what? Go find some of the TikTok teachers. There's like the Mothership is a good one. She's good. She teaches you how to actually step by step make TikToks and use effects and use the features. And you go and just even go on YouTube. There's going to be some classes. Like, sit and play with it, because I've won some TikTok contests. I won one where I figured out how to do a transition. I won $1,000 off TikTok. And I know someone who was totally terrified. I encouraged the crap out of her. And last summer, she won $10,000 in a TikTok contest. So there's a lot of prizes to be won. You just have to find them. And you have to be willing to put yourself out there and look like a crazy person. Right? Yeah, you can do it. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye for now, but I will be back because this is like my favorite thing to do. I love to teach people how to win. It's so fun. And yeah, and send me all your questions because I answer them too. Okay? Until next time. Oh yeah, they moved the end button.